So hello and welcome back to FTRL for Season 9, so our brand new season of GT1, so our top division, all the fastest guys in the league racing tonight. And we've got a couple of changes this season. Most people will already know them, but just in case we'll go over them quickly. So instead of having Group 4 and Group 3 car this season, where I've just got Group 3 after our vote was completed, and it was a bit of a landslide, I remember right, for GT1. So we have got Group 3 cars for both races tonight, and instead of a 25-minute race for the start, we have a 20-minute race for the first race, and then the second race, instead of being 40 minutes, it's now 50 minutes. So it's only a 5-minute increase, but that's how the evening's going to pan out. As you can see, we are at Brands Hatch. This is the Indy circuit for the 20-minute race, and for the longer one you've got the longer track, the GP circuit. So the shorter one for the shorter time, and then the big endurance, more endurance style race, then we've got the longer track, which makes sense. So I'll quickly get on with the team. Sadly, gladly it's a full grid tonight, but that means there's only one room for columns. So sadly, we don't have Junkie Spot this evening. I'm sure we'll get him in quite a few times this season if there's a spot missing. Hey Donzo, hey Roy, just remember to like the stream, it helps out a lot. So I'm just going to go quickly through the teams and the car choices and things like that for everyone. Okay, so quickly jump to the GT1 driver lineup. So I think we'll start from Team Aaron, alphabetical order. So we'll go for, if you go on board with Aaron now, you'll see he's in the light blue, so there's all a colour theme for the teams, and so Aaron's got the light blue cars. Joining him is newly promoted City Posh Blue. Quite a few people are expecting him to do quite well this season. Hopefully he can do very well. And joining him as well, we have Megatron. So it's Aaron, Megatron and City Posh. Aaron and Megatron both in Mazdas, both of them love that car, and then we'll get City Posh who's in the Honda NSX. Okay. I'll go through them in a little bit more detail with who's likely to do well in the championship a little bit later. But we'll go on to Team Flying Throne. Okay, so Team Flying Throne. So joining Flying Throne in the kind of his team. I think his team's got an orange themed livery, I believe. And so joining him is Lee Cole. Where's Lee Cole? I just skipped over him. I have. Lee Cole, there you go, and joining him is Dartbolt. So Dartbolt and Throne are both in the Toyotas, and Lee Cole is in his favourite car. Everyone knows that. It is his Nissan GTR. I think everyone expected that. And then we've got the green cars, which everyone knows is Iggy's cars. So as you can see, all of them have got done by Iggy. Iggy's in the Honda. Joining him, you've got Lennon and Artemis Toko. Lennon's in the Merc. Iggy's in the Honda, and Artemis Toko is in the 650S McLaren. So we're just getting qualifying started, and we've got two teams left. So we've got Team Pagani, who is in the black cars, black livery cars, for this season. We'll go on board with one of them. SF Racing's one of them. He's also in the Mazda, and the Mazda's quite a popular car. Quite a lot of Mazdas rolling around. We've got Pagani, who is in his beloved Corvette. He's taking that one out. He drove that, I think he said he drove that in his first season, and he absolutely loved that car, so watch out for him. And we've got a bit of a bold choice next for the racer who joined right at the very end of last season. He raced the last race, if I remember right. He is in the Audi R8, which if anyone is familiar with a lot of the cars, it's a very, very fast car. You see a lot of times in daily races, but it's a hell of a difficult car to handle. And it does have some bad tyre wear, so if you can handle it, it's extremely quick, but it is a risky. And then we'll go on quickly to our reigning champion, and also my teammate for this season, T. Smith. So his team, he's in the RCZ, which Junkie Sport was in last night. And then we've got Rom Elson, who's also in the GTR alongside Lico, he's also in a GTR, and Blue Flag, who's in the Merc. So we'll get quite a couple of Mercs, a couple of GTRs, quite a few Mazda Tenzas, and then we've got a couple of Hondas as well, then we've got a McLaren, a couple of Toyotas. So the only two drivers I believe that have got a different, 3 drivers who have got a car that's not picked by anyone else is the McLaren from Artemis, the not the Corvette of Pagani, and the Audi of K&K Dot. So we get 3 people on solo going with their car choices, and we've got 6 that have multiples as well. Okay, so we've got a lot of people in the chat already, so welcome everyone. So let's have a little look at the pace. So fastest at the moment is a 43.5 from Iggy, who is in the Merc. Lennon, sorry, who's in the Merc, part of Iggy's team. Okay, so people to watch out for this evening, people to watch out for the championship. Obviously, watch out for Tom, reigning champion, won the last 2 seasons, but Iggy won the Group 3 championship last season. No, did he actually? I think it was close between him and T Smith, I can't remember who won it, but they were both very, very closely matched, and he's already shown his pace, so watch out for him this season. He will be strong this season. Also Pagani, Aaron, Frome, all those guys. Someone's asking, no Callum Combs. I'm afraid there is no room. Sadly, we have a full grid this evening in GT1, which sadly has meant no room for Callum, I'm afraid. We should get him in quite a lot of the time. Usually there's one person missing, but as opening rounds of the season, obviously popular, everyone's here. So obviously we want as many full grids as possible, makes the championship more open. So T Smith has popped himself up into P2 and the RCZ. So the RCZ, he's in the, have you noticed, a bronze inspired livery. 2008 winning, 2008, oh, was it? No, 2008 or 2009, one of those years anyway. Braun won the F1 championships. He's got that kind of inspired livery with the fudging sponsors on the side. He has a massive fuel tank in that car. It's very, very good in its fuel, as you've seen by Carl last night, so that's something to watch out for. He's got a bit of an advantage to that, as Frome sets a 43.4. Guys just said it's 2009. I think it was one of them, I couldn't remember what one. Frome set a 43.4. Frome wasn't particularly happy with his car last season. I think he openly said he made a bit of a mistake with his car choice. He's in the Toyota, which Donzo went very well in last night. Donzo really likes it, so watch out for him tonight. He could be quite strong in that. Dartbott's also in that car. Artemis just set a 43.9, so he's down in P13. So I expect the Honda could do quite well around here, I'd imagine. Not sure what particular other cars go around here very well. Anything that's quite good in tight twisty sections will go very, very well around here. I've just seen Connor saying he's going to dislike purely for that. Sorry Connor, I knew it was one of them. To make you feel better saying that I'm so sad that Hulkenberg's not an F1. And he deserves to be an F1 for that getting back to the... I'm sure it will. Guy, do not ever put dab emojis in the chat. It's not allowed. It should be banned from FTRL. Not having any of them. So we've got Lennon still in P2, Aaron in the Mazda in P4. Aaron could go very well this season. He really didn't get on with that Group 3 section, similar to Megatron. Both really didn't like that Group 3 section, so I fully expect him to be back up there in a car he is very, very much his favourite. Absolutely loves that car. So Aaron and Megatron could go well. Iggy just pops himself up to P3, he's not far off, 1.5 temps. Go on board with T Smith, I think he might be on a lap. K&K Dot has popped himself up into P2 in the Audi. So that's shown that Audi does have great pace, it's just can he manage the tyre wear and the consistency in that car, as it's not an easy car to handle. Leakall puts himself up on a 43.6, which is somehow, where is Lee? That is amazing. 3 Thames at the moment is covering the top 11. 5 Thames covers the field. Half a second as Frome pops himself back up into the top in a 43.4. Very, very closely matched qualifying, so you are expecting a low 43 to probably be the pole time, so very, very closely matched at the moment. From KNK Dot, Lennon, Artemis only 2 1,000 slower than Lennon. There's a lot of guys very, very close at the moment, so hopefully this continues. As we've seen at the end of last season, there was a couple of incredible races, really closely matched at the end. All of these guys, it's quite similar to GT2 at the front. It's a very, very closely matched. Both divisions are now getting to that stage where everyone's starting to kind of condense up, particularly in GT1, where everyone's starting to get kind of similar pace. It's amazing. A 43.7 is putting you 12th, and you've got a 43.4 as just looking at the chat. Michael saying, looking forward to seeing how the lads deal with 50 minutes on the GP circuit. Yeah, we might have a few offs, few people on the grass, I'd imagine. It's quite a difficult one. It's easy enough to get round, but it's just you can easily make mistakes. A couple of tricky corners, a hairpin in the second. The GP circuit is really quite difficult. That's also on this actually as well, just thinking about it. It's also on the Indy circuit. Rom's coming around the final corner. He looks like he's going to improve. Iggy's improved again. Rom improves up to P8. Amazing. 2 attempts is covering the top 9 at the moment. So tight as they're coming. It's an extremely short lap here, so you're able to get in a lot more qualifying laps. So people are just going to start to get rid of the fuel as much as possible, get that time down. We've already got 17 people in the chat. Remember to like the stream, it helps it massively. Already got 9 likes already, I've just seen. SF Racing pops himself up in the Mazda into a 43.5, so have a quick look at some of the liveries. As we all know, Iggy's team's always in the green livery. That's all created by him. They all look very, very smart. Dark Bolt, maybe has a he is supposed to be orange, but he does have quite a lot of green in there as well. Actually, is he supposed to be orange? I'm trying to remember the teams. Yeah, Dark Bolt is supposed to be orange, but it does have a bit of green. On Deluxe same race predictions, so it's almost went for T Smith and Blue Flag to be top 2. I'm going to go for something slightly different, so I'm going to go for Frome to win, and I'm going to go for T Smith to be P2 and Aaron to be far. So we'll go for Frome, T Smith and Aaron as my top 3. Deluxe saying T Smith, Iggy and City Posh Blue. And Frome, Darkbolt and Lee to make the podium. But it's just showing you how close this division is we've got so many predictions and none of them are similar. Zoms just said Darkbolt should have a point deduction, put a Mazda livery on a Toyota. Yeah, I've seen a few people are not big fans of them doing that. Donzo says Frome, Iggy and T Smith. So a lot of Fromes and Iggy's and T Smiths round about the top 3, as you would expect. A 10th is now separating the top 5. Frome still just in the lead. This is ridiculous. It's a 4/100 separates the top 5. It is utterly crazy, this. I've never seen a qualifying session quite like this. This is utterly remarkable how close they all are on pace around here. I mean, I know it's a short circuit, I know there's not a lot of corners, but even still you would expect a little bit more of a difference between the top 10 or so. It's crazy. We're getting right to the business end of qualifying, so we'll not have long left. We'll have another lap or 2 depending. Zoms put hashtag Team Tom shouting on his team leader in the Braun livery. He's went purple going through sector 1 as he comes round and goes very, very, very wide here on that left-hander on the exit, and then it's near enough flat out. You see maybe a slight lift, but he manages just about flat out, I think there. Tiny lift. as he comes round the final corner. Final corner can be quite a tricky one here. You need to get on the power early, but you can run wide and go over that grass, and then you've lost all your time. T-Smith has lost 5 tenths somewhere on that lap. Dartball puts it up on pole by just under a 10. Dartball showing really good pace in that Toyota, has popped it up into a 43.3. Great lap from him. Instead, just put City Posh, Aaron and Ross's team in that order. Got CJ joined in the comms. Sadly, has went to PC, but he's still cheering on his old teammate Ferome. And we've got Unsafe as well, and SBI, so we've got 18 in the chat. KNK Dot has set a 43.2 for his final lap, so he pops it up into provisional pole at the moment in that Audi R8. So at the moment, at least, will that be a good choice? Megatron pops it up into P6 on a 43.4. We've got Frome coming round on his lap. He's 4/100ths up, so he's going to need a little bit more time in the final sector. He is coming towards the final sector, and he's got a bit of a slipstream off SF Racing by the looks of it as they come. Is that going to be enough? Will he manage 43.2? It is. It's 50/100ths as he goes up into pole position, and that is the grid order. So Flying Frome takes the pole position for today. KNK Dot is P2, and Dartbot with a great P3 as well there. So KNK Dot showing some early pace. So prediction from me was Frome to win, T Smith to be second, and Aaron to be third. Aaron's down in P11, still ridiculous close. I think that's just over 4 times covering the top guys there. So just about to get off the line here. It's a bit of a difficult start here as Dartball gets a bit of a twitch on the Toyota. It's a difficult car to start. The Audi manages to sweep past Flying Frome into turn 1. He gets the move done to come round. I've just seen a green car in the background go off. That's Lennon. I've seen City Posh on the inside go off as well. But as they lead up towards the hairpin, KNK Dot leads from Flying Frome in P2. Then we get the Mighty Iggy in 3rd place. Tom is in P4 in the RCZ. Dartball is in P5. Then we get Pagani in the Corvette in P6 behind. Everyone seems to be going through very nice at the moment. We get everyone, I think, is on the super soft bar, maybe the odd one. It's a very tight call here between a no stop and a one stop. Not much time. The one stop is quicker, but it's a nightmare to overtake round here. So is it worth it? Will we see anyone? I'm sure there'll be a few people, but it is risky, and will you be able to make up the time? Flying Frome right on the back of KNK Dot into turn 1. As they're coming up now towards the hairpin, KNK Dot still leads. Flying Frome closes, takes a bit of a different line. KNK Dot though manages to extend the lead as he gets a good exit. Coming to the next left-hander. Everyone using that curb, using the track limits as much as possible, getting the most out of the time. Aaron's moved himself up to P7, so great start for him in the Mazda. Back where it belongs in that Mazda. SF Racing in the Mazda as well. Ooh, you went a little bit wide there. You can take different lines through that final corner. You just need to watch you don't get on the gravel in the exit. Everyone has done that once or twice before. I've done it. Many have time round here. Top 5 remains as it is. KNK Dot leads as we go on to lap 3. So I'd say very quick laps round here. Down the back of the field at the moment, we've got Megatron in P12, followed by Rom. Lennon's in P14. City Posh is 9.2 seconds after him. It looks like he's had another spin. Goy says he thinks some of the back markers will make the no stop. It's a really difficult one here. I know quite a lot of people were dithering what to do between the no stop or the one stop, but interesting to see. It looks like it's going to be 27 laps, so we'll maybe see people in, but lap 13, 14 if they are doing the one stop. Mighty Iggy's having a look down the inside as they come round turn 1. Gives throw a little bit of a tap, but clean move, and he gets that overtake done. Good move there as KNK Dot runs quite wide there, but manages to keep it done. T Smith is trying to have a look down the inside of Flying Frome. He had to be brave there, but he thought better of it. As now he has Dartball right on his tail. Pagani following quite close to that Corvette. Watch out for Pagani though, he's going to have to fuel save a bit around here. The Corvette is not great on fuel. It's a difficult car on fuel, so as much as it's a fast car, Pagani is very good at saving fuel. So I have no doubt he'll do well in it. We get Aaron still in P7, Artemis follows in P8, and SF Racing's P9, Blue Flag is in P10, Lee Cullen GTR's P11, then we get P12 is Megatron, Rom, City Porsche is now full teams, Lennon's had an off, he's now down in P15, but KNK Dot still leads through the hairpin again. Iggy back up now to P2. Frome has dropped down back to P3 after start in that car, so Frome and Dartball not had the best of starts in the Toyota. They're not great off the line, as we know, but can they make that time back up? Have a look at Pagani's, having a look at Dartball there. Aaron follows all closely behind. Even though they're in different teams, Aaron and Pagani might work together on occasion. Do like it working, but they were both team captains, so they were both not on the same team this season. I see a lot of the teams working together as they come around turn 1. Everyone seems to get past cleanly. Other cars at a big FTRL train. We've got 11 cars separated by 5.2 seconds, so we've got a very large FTRL train, particularly for the top 6. There's tiny bits of gaps developing behind that, but even still extremely close. Kenki Dot still leads as he comes round the final corner. Has a 4-times lead. Thing is, round here it's really difficult to overtake, but Iggy has got a good exit and he is closing quite quickly on the back of that Audi. He's going for a look down the inside. KNK Dot gives him the room. Iggy taps him on the side and he's put KNK Dot on the gravel and he's got past, but he has put him on the gravel. T Smith having a look down the inside now, up into P3. Frome's having a look for the lead as Frome tries to go down the inside now. Iggy's going to have to yield that position, and he might yield another position as T Smith has to go down the inside there as well. So Iggy's dropped from P1 down to P3, trying to overtake KNK Dot. So that move has not worked out as Frome gets on the curb as they come round the final corner, and T Smith then takes the lead. Then Iggy is coming back at T Smith as they come round. Iggy's got the faster car on a straight line. Will he be able to retake the lead into turn 1? But it looks like he's going to sit behind as Frome now dives down the inside into the next corner into turn 1. So Frome's now back up into P2. So T Smith has now went from P4 to the lead. So he's back up. Frome's now back up into P2 after dropping down. Dartball's up to P4, but Pagani's now having a look at P5. What's happened to KNK Dot? KNK Dot's went off in the background as well, so he's down to P14. Dartball's got back up to P4. Pagani's up into P5 and he's right on the back of Dartball as well. Dartball goes defensive. Pagani tries to go for the switch back into the final corner, tries to get the best run possible. The Corvette's fairly good in the straight line, and you see he's having a look at the Toyota. It's a faster car in the straight line, so he's having a look. Will he dive down the inside or will he back out as you come into turn 1? He backs out as you filters through into turn 1, having a look there. Artemis having a look at Aaron as you come up towards the hairpin. Will he dive down the inside? No, backs out. SF Racing, Blue Flag, Lee Cole, Megatron, so we're still all in close formation, the top 12. CJ saying Iggy was a tad aggressive. Yeah, he was a little bit ballsy with that move. He might have obviously probably regretted that now. He's lost positions due to it, and he's lost time as well. It's 1.3 seconds now, the gap between T Smith. So T Smith and Frome lead. Bit of a gap now developing. Dartball's now going to have a little bit of a look, possibly, Iggy. Pardon me. Finally getting a breath there after that start. So Pagani has, is that Dartball having a look down the inside of Iggy? It is Dartball trying to make the move done. I think he's got that. Great move there. We'll get in the background as well, get SF Racing and trying to get past Artemis, but Artemis holds possession. He's now trying to get past Aaron. Aaron's kind of holding Artemis up slightly there. They're coming around, everyone is so close. A Blue Flag now having a look at the back of SF Racing as well. So are we going to see someone dive in for an early pit stop? Anyone going to go for the undercut? Some people are not going to pit, so will the undercut work? Depends how many people is going to come into the pits at the end of the day. So 5 tenths is the gap between the top 2, then 1.6 seconds from Dartball got past Iggy on the last lap at the same point. Pagani is in P5. Fuel situation fairly similar. Frome's got the least by the looks of it. T Smith has the most. Pagani's doing a good job managing in that Corvette, managing the fuel. in fairness, Aaron's doing a very good job in that Mazda. That Mazda's quite a good car on its heel. Might get away with a no stop here, so we'll see. Pagani jumps into the pit stop, Frome and Leak also, those guys going for the undercut. So Frome going for the undercut and T Smith. Now, will T Smith pit? This is interesting. City Porsche is having an awful time of it. So is Lennon and those cars at the back. Not got to grips with that car yet, but as we remember last season, City Porsche had a nightmare first week in GT2, and look what happened. He ran away with the title and he won it quite comfortably. So as much as he might be struggling here, he'll get his pace, and I'm 100% sure that you will see him up there. T Smith does go into the pit, so he's not going to carry on and trying to go for the no stop. So we're seeing most people go for the one stop at the moment. Dartbolt carries on though. Iggy follows closely behind. Then we've got Artemis and Blue Flag, as that's T Smith coming out just ahead of Megatron, just behind his teammate. And then we've got Roman P7, he's not into the pits yet. Pagani's popped out in P8s after the pit stops. And then we've got Frome in P9, who's just trying to get past Artemis as he's just come out. No, that's not Artemis, sorry, that's Aaron. He's trying to get past Aaron. Aaron's managed, with his fuel difference, has managed to get the jump on a lot of other guys. Aaron has slightly underfueled his car compared to everyone else, so watch out for that towards the end. SF Racing and Lee Cole having a battle by the looks of it here. Teammates last season, but they're rivals this season. Having a bit of a battle. They come round. Lee in that GTI. They've got Blue Flag and Roman as well, so all of Tom's team into the pits. Lee Cole's having a look. Where will they pop out as Ron pops out in P12? Then we've got a three-way battle as Blue Flag pops out of the pits as they're going into turn 1. Someone's on the gravel. Is that SF Racing's on the gravel? Blue Flag pops up into P9. Lee Cole's going down the inside as Blue Flag takes the outside line. SF Racing's going to try and get back at Lee Cole down the inside. But he backs out as they come to the left hand. I think nudged Lee Cole there at the left-hander. So we head up the field now, back up into the lead of the race. Dartbolt leads still, 2.6 seconds separates him and T Smith behind. For some reason I can't get on board with T Smith at the moment. That's better. T Smith 2.4 seconds needs to make up on Dartbolt, but the thing is he needs to get that overtake done. And T Smith's car isn't great in a straight line, and there's not many places to overtake, but he is closing quickly. Pagani's in P3, so Pagani's doing an excellent job in that Corvette. Frome's in P4, Aaron's P5, Iggy's come out in P6, so the undercut has worked massively against the front runners. It's not worked for him. The overcut has just cost him a lot of time there. So he's come out in P6. Now he's got Aaron ahead of him with Frome, Pagani, T Smith and Dartbolt. Dartbolt doing an excellent job at trying to keep those tyres alive. By the look of his tyre wear though, that's not going to be pleasant at the end. Trying to get to the end on those tyres. But the top 6 starting to spread out slightly at the moment. Artemis leads a bit of an FTRL train here for P7. There's a little bit of a gap between P6 and P7 as a couple of cars going down the inside. That's Blue Flag going down the inside of Lee. Lee trying to hold it round the outside. Blue Flag keeps the possession, so we've got Artemis and P7, then Blue Flag, Lee Cole, SF Racing, Megatron, Rom, and then we've got a bit of a gap round to K and K Dot, so we've got a 6-car lead as that, a 6-car train, sorry, for P7, from PA7 all the way down to P12. Well, they try and close onto the back of Iggy as well. Iggy's having a look at getting past Aaron now after they lost that position in the pit stops. To come into turn 1, manages to keep possession, Aaron. So as Dartbolt and T Smith are going at it, Dartbolt's had a bad lap. The T Smith is there already as he's going down the inside. He gets the move done up into P1, so that's the first part of T Smith's issue with the one stop completed. He's managed to get that move done. And it's tricky round here. Now he's got Pagani to have a look at. Pagani in that Corvette getting off to a storming start as well. Frome's in P4 just ahead of this battle here for P5. And then we've got this big old battle here between Artemis, Blue Flag, Lee Cole, SF Racing, Megatron and Rom. So they've come into turn 1 again. Lee Cole and SF Racing having a look down the inside possibly. Backs out of it. maybe having a look as they come up towards the hairpin. Blue flag got a terrible run there as they come up towards the hairpin. I think Lee Cole's nudged blue flag and he's let him go. But then SF Racing's been battled as well here by Megatron, who's trying to get past. But they all filter through and all keep their positions. He's still not past Aaron in P5, and at the front Pagani's got past Dartbolt. Dartbolt beginning to lose pace now as Frome looks like he's going to be getting past soon as well. So it looks T-Smith, Pagani and Frome are your top three net at the moment, I'd say. I'd imagine Frome will be getting that move done soon on Dartbolt. So T-Smith has got a 1.8 second gap, so we'll keep an eye. He has got a bit of a penalty he needs to get rid of, so we'll keep an eye on that gap at the front. Some gaps separating at the front now, but Frome is still rapidly closing in, and Dartbolt, his tyres are short. Look at the state of those front tyres, that front left. How is he still going on those as Brian Frome gets the move done? I think he's down the inside. Dartbolt doesn't fight, they're on the same team, no point, so he just backs out and lets him go, lets his teammate go, lets him chase after Pagani and T-Smith, see what he can do in the last 5 minutes of this race. Aaron still holds off Iggy as a lead car for Team Aaron, and now we've got Artemis still in P7. He's got away from that battle behind him. Blue flag still leads Lee Cole in P9, SF Racing, Megatron and Rome at the back. KNK, Dotlin and City Posh are still adrift. T-Smith 2.4 seconds, so it's starting to increase a bit now. Iggy's still right on the back of Aaron. He looks closer this time as well. The gap is a 10th. Well, Aaron is going to go down the inside. Aaron is going to go round the outside. Iggy, will he get the move done? He does it a lot cleaner this time, and he's still there though. Aaron round the outside. Aaron's going to try and hold it. He slightly drifts round the outside. It looks like Iggy's going to have that move done, so he's up into P5. Aaron drops down into P6. Artemis as well is starting to close quite quickly on the back. He's on the super softs, Aaron's on the softs, and then we've got this big train behind us, this 5-car train for P8 that's still going on behind. Blue flag still leads in that train as well. Dartbolt still slightly ahead of Iggy, but it looks Iggy, his pace is just not there at the moment. Dartbolt it's not worked out this strategy, and Dartbolt is getting overtook here by the looks of it. As he defends on the inside, trying to go the long way round. Great move there by Iggy up and round the outside into turn 1. Brave overtake as he gets up into P4. Now Aaron's going to want to get past Dartbolt quickly and get a bit of room, breathing space between him and Artemis, as it looks like blue flag, and that gap is starting to close between him and Aaron. As I see in the background, as we've got Megatron and Rome, as Lee Cole's dropped down to P12. He's had a moment somewhere, so Megatron still ahead of Rome, but Rome's starting to have a look at trying to get past him as well, as they'll only get 4 or 5 more laps to go here. T-Smith 3.3 seconds, sorry, ahead of Pagani now, so barring any mistakes, T-Smith has also got rid of his penalty, so he's doing the job up front. The Team Tom, Pagani is in P2, lead driver for him, Rome. So if anyone has not noticed yet, unbelievably, the top 5 are all the team captains. T-Smith, Pagani, Frome, Iggy and Aaron. This is your 5 team captains who are in the top 5. I've just noticed that there. So great showing by the team captains, leading by example, getting the best results out of the car at the moment. Artemis though doing a good job at closing in P6. As you see the difference in blue flag, he's closed up massively onto the back of Dartbolt. This strategy for Dartbolt has just capitulated. The no stop, it's just not worked as blue flag dies it down the inside as you go into turn 1. Gets the move done, good move for blue flag. Artemis is on the outside there, he was on the gravel slightly there, though he's lost a little bit of time. Dartbolt's falling right down the order here. Roman, Megatron and Lee Cole can smell blood. As you're gonna, I think they're gonna get him as well. As it's just Lee Cole right on the curb there. a little bit too much. T-Smith has just stretched his advantage. He's flying in that car. 4.6 seconds. Look at his lap times. Look at the consistency. 43.6 lap 18, 43.6 lap 19, 43.9, 43.8, 44 flat, 43.9, 43.7. That's why he's up the top. The consistency of T-Smith is just impeccable. Pagani's lapping an average half a second slower, and Froome is right on his tail now. As far as I'm aware, Zob, there is no wildcards. As far as I'm aware, there's no wildcards. I think we were the only brave souls to do that last night. It did seem to work out, but yeah, brave souls. Froome is closing quickly on Pagani. I think Pagani's now starting to feel the tyre wear and the effects. Look at the difference in the tyre wear between T-Smith, Froome and towards Pagani. Big difference as Froome is going to have to look for an overtake. Pagani has got the fastest car in a straight line. I think he's a little bit too far to be closing in. We've got another two lads. We've got Artemis, Zap, Aaron and Blue Flag coming into turn 1 there. 3 wide there, I've just seen. Aaron still leads in P5. Blue Flag is getting a move on now. He's starting to, that car's starting to come towards him, that Merc. He's starting to move up. He's got past that battle he was in, and he's now right on the tail of Aaron. So will it be a top 5 captain, or will it be interrupted by an intruding Blue Flag? Artemis is having a look at Blue Flag as they come around the final corner. We've also got SF Racing as well, who's back in the background, still trying to get past. Then at the back we've got Dartbox, who's still trying to defend from Megatron and Lee. So as I thought, Dartbox coming under pressure. Rom's moved up into P9. Dartbox tyres are now about 85% worn as you come onto the lap line. How is he still driving that car? As they come round, and Lee Cole's got past Megatron as they go down the inside. As we've also got Artemis having a look as well with SF Racing. SF Racing's trying to go round the outside of Artemis as he goes in. Ooh. Right, SF Racing was trying to get round the outside, but Artemis had the line. As you lead in to the final corner, T-Smith is going to come across the line for... Oh, he's not. He's going to have to complete another lap. He's just made it. As he's coming round, Froome is having a look as it's a bit of a drag race to the finish, but Pagani holds off. Pagani takes P2 from Froome in P3. Mighty Iggy takes P4 in his debut. So it will be a top 5 for the captains. 1 to 5 for the captains as Blue Flag takes P6. Artemis is going to take P7. SF Racing P8. Rom P9. Lead P10. Dartbolt P11. Dartbolt gets an absolute commendable for managing to get a car with 90% tyre wear to the end round brands. No idea how he's done that. Megatron P12, KNK Dots finished P13, City Porsche and Lennon P14 and P15. But as he comes round the final corner, T-Smith takes an extremely dominant victory for his opening round in the Braun inspired RCZ and takes the win for what was an extremely entertaining opening race. Now I can breathe. What a race that was. So, as you was seeing, you got a top 5 of the captains, so definitely leading by example there, 1st to 5th for the team captains. Great driving by them. Fantastic racing there from them all to be so close. T-Smith began to run away with it. I think he saved a bit of fuel in the opening stint, managed to just save it and keep the pace with the guys in front of him, and then as soon as he got his opportunity, that was him, off and away. So we're going to have about a 10 minute probably, I think. Why did I start at 1:45 or 10:02, one of the two, and we'll have our 50-minute first endurance race of the season. Obviously all 3 tyre compounds from the medium soft and super softs will have to be used. It only has to be for a lap or so, but obviously usually you see them use it for a lot longer. Also, with being 50 minute, a lot of times in a 40-minute race you were seeing 2 stops or 3 stops. It was borderline. Most people did a lot of 3 stops. We're going at 1:45, I've just seen. So it's most likely going to be a 3 stop, I'd imagine. I mean, obviously last night I think there was I did a 4 stop which worked. I think there was quite a lot of 4 stops last night, and there was a kind of tossed up between a 3 stop and a 4 stop, so you never know. But I imagine there's not much tyre wear around brands particularly, so I'd imagine it's probably a 3 stop race. So we'll see how that goes. Most people usually start on the mediums. We'll go on spectator and we'll go have a little look. We've got SF Racing coming around to show us a lap on the super softies went out on originally. So maybe we'll see a couple of people start on some faster tyres, maybe. Sometimes we've seen last season, Semmel was one of the guys that was quite predominantly, he liked to run super softs. If he was starting near the front, and he would usually go for a bit of a try and maybe bolt away. That was kind of what the strategy kind of is. If you're near the front, it might be worth going on the super softs, especially if you've got a fast starting car. Then you can maybe get it away, get enough of a gap, because obviously people will be battling behind. More often than not, you'll see people starting on mediums. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, longer circuit this time. You've got these middle sector is mainly comprised of those a lot of right-handers. It's a very right-hander orientated circuit, so you've got a lot of fast right-handers, but you need to be as careful as possible, as there's always grass lurking, or gravel, sorry. You get gravel at the last corner and at turn 1 and one or two other corners, but those fast right-handers in the middle sector are surrounded by grass, and you can, as we've seen at SF Racing, get a little bit sideways there. Doesn't sound like City Porsche likes this circuit particularly much. It's one thing, I don't mind this circuit, but I don't seem to go particularly well around it, in fairness. Predictions by Steph. Oh, cheers, Donzo. Prediction from Steph is Iggy, Aaron, and Tom, P1, P2, and P3. So I will go for. I'm gonna. I can't get past Iggy for the win, so we'll go for him for the win. We'll go for Frome to get P2. So Iggy, Frome, and we'll go for T Smith to be P3. So we'll go for an Iggy, Frome, T Smith for me. So I'm saying he hopes City Porsche Blue gets a top 10. But the sounds of it, he's not particularly a big fan of this circuit. It's a tricky one. It's one of those, a lot of people dislike it, but you do have a lot of people that really, really enjoy it as well. Blue Flag is someone who doesn't enjoy this circuit at all. He really is not a fan. Unsafe going for Lennon himself and T Smith. Yeah, Unsafe has a bit of a thing of finishing P2. Last season he was fantastic at it, finishing P2. I had that a couple of seasons ago in F1 when Sam Saunders was in the league, and I finished second in I think 5 or 6 races out the 10 I think it was we did, which is ridiculous, but I just couldn't get a win. So I do understand how you feel, Unsafe, believe me. So I'm saying he loves Brands Hatch. Yeah. It's one of those tracks, some people love it, some people hate it. So times round here, usually the fastest times you'll see round here are 122s. You see around here, maybe the odd 121, you might see the fastest lap, but that'll be a perfect lap near enough. But 122s people do around here. So anything, that's probably race pace, probably talking 123s, 124s maybe. So let's have a little look in the chat. Who has the Aaron saying, did you all notice all different team captains first to fifth? I did notice. I noticed. Only person that noticed. So should we have a little bit of a thing in the comments? What is your favourite livery of the ones you've seen so far? Obviously Iggy's are all the same, but out of the rest, do we have any favourite liveries? Got about a minute to go. I got to admit, I do really like Tom's Brawn livery. That's a great livery, must be said. City Posh Blues, Goy's saying, yeah, City Poshes is. I do like City Poshes as well. Quite a lot of the liveries we always see are very good in this league. We've got a lot of very good creators of liveries. Pagani's always got an excellent livery. Rome's got the white Nissan. They've got Dartbolt, still got that kind of orange green. City Posh Blues sounding very popular in the chat for his livery, which was created by Zom. So we've got quite a few people that love creating livery. So we've got Zom as one of the livery creators, Sai, Pagani. Aaron's done his own for the first time, and that's worth mentioning. So Aaron's is inspired by a British touring car, I believe. So Aaron's done his first job at creating liveries. Usually he gets Pagani or Carl to make it, who makes an effortless livery, so he makes it look so simple. Whereas when I look like it looks like a blooming 2-year-old went and had some crayons. Some people just are able to do it. Other people, like myself, just can't, sadly. But looks we're just about to get underway. So we've got a couple of people saying it looks hard to look past T Smith is on, I've seen, and then we've got quite a few Iggy's as well. So we'll see how everyone's predictions get on today. So mine is Iggy, Frome and T Smith for P1 to P3. So we'll see how drastically wrong I get it today. So we'll get Lennon starting in P1. Lennon will fly off of the grid. That Merc is a great car off the line. So expect Lennon, as long as he doesn't go wide turn 1, to be leading into turn 1. Lights out and away we go. Lennon gets a good start as expected. Dartbolt moves up on Megatron. Megatron has a bit of a... I think that's Dartbolt having a bit of a dodgy start actually. Called down the inside. Lennon has... I think I might have jinxed Lennon. Lennon's off. We've got 2 green cars in the background. The other 2 fighting. And the background K&K Dot is led into turn 1. And then we've got City Bosch Blue still in P2. Dartbolt's in P3. Then we've got the Lico in P4. Who's got on the curb? Dartbolt's off. Dartbolt's... he's got a big kick of oversteer on exit, and he's blocked SF Racing, so that's allowed Rome through as well. And then we've got Lico trying to go round the outside of Dartbolt. Dartbolt's had another twitch and we nearly took out Rome. Oh dear, that didn't go well. That was thought that was going to end in a disaster. SF Racing down the inside of Dartbolt in the next corner, and Iggy's also trying to down the inside of Dartbolt as well. But he doesn't get the move done as we come into the next right-hander. Megatron and Aaron having a bit of a battle, teammates battling there, and then we've got Blue Flag and Pagani in the background as well, with Frome, T Smith, Artemis and Lennon, who's went from the lead to the back from the start. K&K Dot has bolted 4.3 seconds he's got off of Lico behind him. K&K Dot has went for that alternate strategy of starting on the super softs for this race. So he's went for it, he's starting on the super softs, he's trying to get that big gap up. It's 4.5 seconds now to Lico, who's also on the mediums, along with the rest of the field with Rom, SF Racing's on the super softs. Iggy has done a good job of getting up to P5. Now we've got Aaron, Blue Flag's got a big wiggle on, has he caught it? Yeah, he's caught it, he's managed to keep possession as well. Big old wiggle on there, which is he's hindered him for a couple of corners, and it's allowed Pagani down the inside. It's a tricky corner, this one. It's a long left-hander. It's a late apex corner. Blue Fly's got a better run on the outside. So now it's a drag race down to the next right-hander. This fast right-hander. Blue Flag looks to be pulling ahead ever so slightly as you come in. Pagani's going to have to be brave. He's going to try and hold it round the outside, but Pagani's going to go just about on the track. But he backs out. He can't keep that move up. And P10, we have blue flags off the track. He's got on the curb on the outside, but he manages to hold it. Great hold there from blue flag, P11. And then we've got Frome and City Posh at the back as well. Dark Box and P13, so we've got a couple of offs. I think Frome's might have been off as well. K&K Dot leads in 5.8 seconds. Precise Seth saying, what happened to City Posh Blue? I have absolutely no idea. He's disappeared. I have no idea. I was looking behind and he appears to have went off somewhere. I'm not sure what's went on with him. Rom is in P3 still, just ahead of SF Racing, but they're having a battle. SF Racing want to get a move on. He's on the super sauce. Rom's on the mediums, so he wants to get the best use out of those tyres. Aaron's still fending off his teammate Megatron. Lennon right on the back of blue flag. City Posh Blue is down in P15, so he's had an off on that opening lap. I think it might have been at turn 4, turn 5. I'm not entirely sure. Turn 3. I'm not entirely sure what's happened to him. 6.8 seconds is the gap up front. K&K Dot is really starting to pull away now. Can he keep enough of a gap that he's able to keep it throughout the race? Rob's a bit slidey on those mediums, and SF Racing's really looking to get a move on here. He really needs to get past to use that advantage of those tyres as he comes into the final corner. Wants to go run too wide, hit the grass, gets a good run, SF Racing in the Mazda, but it's difficult because Rom's in that Nissan GTR, but he's going to go down the inside, he's going to brake later. Rom on the outside, goes wide, SF Racing manages to keep it and keep it up into P3. Iggy having a look down the inside of Rom, so following SF Racing through. Good opportunistic move there from Iggy as he moves up into P4. He's getting a move on now. Got Aaron still in P6. He's starting to close in at the back of Rom now. After those battling, Megatron's in P7. Then we get Pagani in P8. Bit of a gap back to this Artemis and Blue Flag. And then it's Lennon, Frome, Darkbolt, City Posh and T Smith. T Smith went on the pits? I believe T Smith may have started on the mediums. I'm not sure if T Smith may have come into the pits there on that opening lap, but it doesn't say P, so don't know what's happened to T Smith as well. Unless he started by an alternate strategy. So K&K Dot leads 8 seconds now, it's up to. Lee's starting to get away from Iggy and Rom behind, but he has been closed now by his former teammate SF Racing, who's also on the Super Salts like K&K Dot. But Rom, who's still latched onto the back. I think he's overtook him, and then we've got this battle between the 3 former teammates of last season, the Citroen boys of last season, who are now rivals with Pagani. P9 is Artemis. There's a little bit of a gap developing behind. Frome's still in P10, so he's on the super soft, so. And then it's mediums for the remainder at the back. Blue Flag's come into the pits by the looks of it, and he's fitted the soft tyre. And then we've got, so I think T Smith and Blue Flag have both come into the pits. I've just tried to get out of that kind of drama at the start. Megatron's had a bad run and has put Pagani right on the back of him as they come downhill. Pagani's got the faster car on the straight line. He might be within overtaking distance as they come into the right-hander. Pagani backs out though, he doesn't want to go for a move. He went for the move on Blue Flag and it didn't work out, so maybe he's just thought better of it this time. He's right on the back of him though, he's looking for an overtake. He's still right there on the back. Megatron's just getting enough of a slipstream down this straight that might just be able to keep her back. Rom had a look at SF Racing there in the foreground, but it's not worked out. Lee's come into the pits and getting off those mediums. The gap between K&K Dot and Iggy is 12 seconds. So the man in the Audi, the brave man in the Audi, is away and gone at the moment. So we've got SF Racing, who's still in P3, still keeps ahead of Rom. Rom's went a little bit wide there, to hinder his line. Aaron's managed to keep ahead of P5. Pagani has overtook Megatron up into P6. Must have got that done at turn 1. Ooh, got a bit of a twitch on there on the exit, but keeps ahead. Frome in P8 now, beginning to close on Megatron, so Frome's starting to get a bit of a shift on those super soft tyres in that Toyota. Him and Donzo ran that in the Nations, so I think that was one of the... He got a good idea on race trim what that car was like, and they both liked it. A City Porsches went off. That's just at the after the hairpin by the looks of it on the exit. He's not having a good race. It's similar to GT2 last season, so don't write him off. K&K Dot leads 12.2 seconds from Mighty Iggy in P2. SF Racing's having a look though down the inside on those super soft tyres as he gets the move done up into P2. Iggy peels off into the pits, so does Rom. The rest carry on behind, so Rom and Iggy getting off those tyres now. Aaron and Pagani and Megatron are the people still on the medium tyres. Everyone else seems to be getting rid of them quite quickly. So Pagani's now closing in on Aaron, his former teammate. Megatron's just behind in P5. Frome has caught up now in those super soft tyres in P6 in Toyota. So he's closed the gap now and he's joined on to this what is now a 4-car train for P3. T Smith starting to make up ground now as well, as he's right behind Lico, who's just come out of the pits on the super soft tyres. Rom's come out in P9, we've got blue flag in P10, so P8, P9 and P10. All the teammates in a line, and then it's 2 green cars of Iggy and Artemis just behind P11 and P12. Lennon and Dartbolt, sadly City Porsche at the back. So 22.6 by K&K Dot is your fastest lap of the race so far. Incredibly quick time. He has got that car going well round here. He's going to start to struggle now. I imagine you'd see him in this lap. SF Racing peels off into the lap, so yeah, I'd imagine both on the same tyres. K&K Dot might be in this lap. Pagani's starting to gain. Faster car in the straight line on that Mazda as you come into turn 1. Aaron's car's much better in the corners though, so he'll peel away. Oh, Aaron's went wide. And then Frome has got up into P3. I don't know if Pagani tapped the back of Aaron there, or if Aaron just went wide, but Frome has got past Pagani nonetheless. As he comes into the next left-hander, that's a weird late apex corner. He's going for a look now. Frome on the outside. This will be a brave overtake. He's got a ever so slightly faster car in a straight line, I'd say, but as you come around the outside, Frome goes for the switchback moves. He's now going to have a look down the inside. He does, he goes for the switchback and he gets the move done, but looks a bit... Aaron's trying to hold it around the outside as they come for the next right-hander. Pagani's going to try and have a look round as Aaron tries to go round the outside. Aaron's going to have to be brave though. He's on the grass and he's managed to... I think he's lost the position now to Pagani, who gets past him up into P3. K&K Dot does pit this lap. So Flying Frome is going to be up into P1, I'd imagine. And then you've got Megatron, you've got SF Racing go down the inside of T Smith in the background there. And you've also, is that... I think that's Lico having a go at Megatron into turn 1 as well now. So he's coming into turn 1. Lico has the line. I think he ushered Megatron off the track. It looks like he slightly pushed him off there as we're coming into turn 1. As K&K Dot still leads from 3.4 seconds. He's now on the soft tyre, but just remember he does have those mediums to run towards the end of the race. Pagani's oh my, oh what, that was he caught it just, but Pagani had the massive moment as he got on the exit there. That was a big moment. He managed to catch it though. He's got SF Racing right on the back of him here, and he's got Rom on the back of him, so SF Racing's having a look down the inside of Pagani on this fast right-hander. down the inside and he gets the move done. Up into P5. Rom's now going to possibly have a look at getting past as well. You've got T Smith going to try and have a look at Lee Cole now as well. We're starting to be people start to push it a bit. Oh, SPY's actually just said that. Yep, good spot. SPY people are starting to push it. They're starting to get to the edge of the limits of the cars. You'll start seeing them making mistakes. Starting to make time up. From gap between the two at the front is 3.3 seconds. That's 1.9 behind. T Smith having a look at Lee Cole as you get into turn 1. Lee Cole bit later on the brakes, it seemed, there into turn 1. Coming in to lap 10, just set back at the moment. SF Racing's in P5, Rom's in P6, Blue Flag's in P7, Iggy's in P8, then we've got Artemis in P9, Aaron in P10, and then we've got Pagani who's come into the pits in P11, Lennon's in P12, then it's Megatron after his spin, and then it's City Posh and Dirtball who are both not having the best of times out at the back. KK Dot leads now, it's up to 3.7 seconds. I'd imagine Froome will be in this lap or the next lap for his next pit stop. Lee still leads T Smith. I think T Smith is still just beginning to turn the screw up a little bit as Lee Cole gets a big slide on, and that just lets T Smith easily through up into P3, and Lee Cole's off again. He's went too wide. Dirt on the tyres, it's not helped, and he's now dropped even further down the order. As they come into the next corner, Lee Cole beginning to struggle now. Those super softs are just not working for him at the moment, and he's losing time now. As Rom looks like he's having a look down the inside of SF Racing coming into turn 1. SF Racing gives him the room. Good driving from both of them. Looks like Rom has got that move. He's going to go defensive on the inside though for the hairpin as he comes round. SF Racing's going to try and get a bit of a switch back, but he doesn't get the drive off the corner. So Rom, good move up into P5 ahead of SF Racing now. So Blue Flag is now 1.8 seconds behind SF Racing on those soft tyres. He'll be in not too long. So Iggy, Artemis will be in as well soon. So Aaron and Pagani. Aaron and Pagani have dropped right down the back of the field. I don't know if they both had a bit of an off. I know Pagani and Aaron were fighting a little bit, but I don't know what's happened to them. They've had a dodgy lap 9, a 32.1. So what's happened, I have no idea. We've got a couple of guys down the back that are not usually at the moment. So KNK Dot starting to extend his lead again. He's on for a purple lap time at the moment, and he's gaps up to 6 seconds. So at the moment KNK Dot is in a prime position to take the win of this race. He's got a big old gap now to Froome behind him. Frome's going to have to pit as well, so it's going to be T Smith that's going to be behind him. So can T Smith close the gap up as Froome carries on? Brave decision, he's gone for one more lap with that fuel. Lee Cole still in P4, just ahead of Rom. And then SF Racing, who'll be in looks like we've seen a lot of people in this next lap. Blue Flag's P7 just ahead of Iggy as they come through turn 1. Some people making some slight mistakes, and this race is putting some bigger gaps up, and it's dropping people down the order more than they would usually be. Aaron's still in P9, and then we've got Artemis, Pagani, Lennon, Megatron, City Porsche and Dartbolt. 6.6 seconds now, the gap between the front two. T Smith beginning to close on Froome. T Smith's tyres are in much better condition than Frome's. Now get Lee Cole just behind in P4 with Rom in P5. All of these seem to be, the second to fifth seem to be on a very similar strategy. SF Racing's on his medium run at the moment as he started on the super softs. This is his lap where he's going to, a couple of laps, he's going to lose a bit of time to the guys he was fighting beforehand. Froome peels off into the pits. The gap out front is 8.9 seconds. KNK Dot is setting the timing sheets alive right now. with 22.6, 22.7 then a 22.8 consecutive lap times. He looks in a massively good position right now in that Audi to win the race here at the moment. Dot is really putting the pace to the field at the moment. T Smith has his work cut out if he's going to win this race, that's for sure. He's not moving away from Lee in fairness. He's got more tyre wear on his rears. That Nissan seems to be handling its tyres slightly bit, even though Lee's had a couple of moments to say the least. Rom seemed to have good tyre wear though on that Nissan as well behind him. So these two are doing quite similar strategies as well, and Rom seems to have better tyre wear than the other Nissan. Prototype testing, K&K has won this bar in the Silver Snakes. It does look likely at the moment. Hopefully continues with his good lap times. T Smith still ahead of Lee, 6/10. Rom is starting to close in on Leecall. He's right beside him as they come. He's going for a bit of a switchback move. He's getting a better exit so he can go down the inside as they come up to the hairpin. Leecall goes extremely defensive. Super defensive line there from Leecall, but he managed to hold the position. Brave defensive move, but fair, and he keeps the position. Blue flag's now in P5 as we've got Megatron in P6, Iggy's in P7, who's come into the pits to fit on new tyres. So has Flying Throne, he came out in P8, he's filled up and has put on the soft tyres. .2 seconds is the gap now between the top two, and K&K Dot can run longer into this stint. He does have the mediums to run, but K&K Dot has had a moment in his span. So as we said, everything can change for a couple of spins, and he has. He span just at the exit of the strange left-handed, the kind of long apex. So that's, as we were saying, it's not over until it's over. The mistakes can happen around here, and it has happened. T Smith has peeled off into the pits. I think the luck has just absolutely jinxed him, by the way, as well. He just mentioned about having mistakes, and he's just done a mistake in the next corner. So, yep, K&K Dot can blame the luck for that. K&K Dot is now defending from Leecall up into the long right-hander. Megatron and Iggy are going at it into the right-hander as well. Get Iggy around the outside, gets the move done. Good move up into P5 after his pit stop, moving up on the super soft tyres. Tom's come out in P4 just ahead, so we get the two of the biggest title contenders, which is what I thought had been the title contenders, are in P4 and P5. Leecall comes into the pits. He's having a good race at the moment, so is Rom. So K&K Dot carries on. That spin hasn't helped that rear left tyre, who now has just under half tyre wear. So that spin's not helped him out much. Iggy's having a look as there's a yellow flag somewhere, but keep on board. But this is T Smith defending from Iggy. Where's this yellow flag? What's went on? Cannot see what's happened at the moment. Leecall's come out in P6 as well, just ahead of Artemis. He's went on the soft tyres and he's filled up 75%, 3/4 of a tank, but T-Smith is still managing to keep Iggy behind at the moment. He's got 17.1 seconds in K&K Dot, but K&K Dot will have to pit in the not too distant future. Shame for K&K Dot that he made that mistake. It's ruined his tyres. It looks like he's coming into the pits. He is. He's just got on the curb and on the grass slightly, and it's just... yeah, let's see if he can make up some time. Such a shame, it was going so well. T-Smith sets a 23.2 as best of the race so far. He does have the pace though, so you never know. Where's he come out? K&K Dot's come out in a big train with Lee and Megatron. He's in P5, he's on his medium stint at the moment. Megatron's on slightly worn softs. And we've got Artemis having a look as well down the inside of Megatron as they come to this corner, just where K&K Dot span afterwards. So we look to not make the same mistake. Actually, no, it wasn't. That was the exit of that corner. Wrong corner. Getting my corners mixed up. They all look the same around here, in fairness. Oh, there's a yellow flag. Is that Dartbolt? I think Dartbolt's span again, and he now having to wait for everyone to get back past him. But K&K Dot is still in P5. He now has to catch Lee Cole. But he is on the mediums, and Lee Cole is on the soft, so we would expect Lee Cole to get away, but K&K Dot has shown he's got a lot of pace, so will K&K Dot manage to ignore the tyre advantage and still manage to close the gap? We've got T-Smith who is leading from Iggy. Iggy has a lot less fuel as well and more tyre wear, so T-Smith is in a better position. Frone's in P3 as well, so he's managed to get back into this race. I'm not sure if he's got the mediums or not. I'm not sure what he started on, because it did seem quite early on the super sauce, but whether he started on the mediums and pitted on the first 2 or 3 laps, I'm not too sure. The battle for the leads were going on. K&K Dot's managing to I think he's staying the same gap away from Lico, so he's not losing any time, but I think he's just stayed about 8-9 tenths this last lap. T-Smith leads from 1.4 seconds over Iggy, using that curb on the outside bravely. Yeah, it's a corner that he's K&K Dot span at, so it can happen on the outside if you get it a little bit wrong. At 23.1, T-Smith sets his new best as well, so he is getting pace down, but he's still way off what K&K Dot was doing. So K&K Dot, as much as he's made that mistake, he's not necessarily out of this yet. Not that big a gap, and he does have more fuel than the guys ahead of him, so this could still be quite close here. Don't rule K&K Dot out of it yet. He may have made that mistake, but he has got the pace. T-Smith is getting away from Iggy though, and Iggy is on super softs. They are getting quite worn now though, and he will have to pit this lap for fuel. Gap between Lico and K&K Dot is still 8 tenths. It's Artemis behind on the super softs. Blue Flag seems to be in a good position as well. He's got much better fuel at the moment than Artemis ahead of him. SF Racing's quite similar to Blue Flag. And then it's Rom and Aaron in P9 and P10. With Pagani down in P11 at the moment. Pagani seems to be struggling slightly with that Corvette so far. It's not a track you would probably necessarily say would suit the brands, as that's SF Racing. Yellow Flag, he's just made a a mistake there at the same corner. K&K Dot, it looks like he's done the... Who's K&K? K&K Dot is the gentleman that joined at the end of last season. He did the last race of the season. He's in Pagani's team and he's in the Audi R8. Oh, was that Megatron's in the wall? That's just the corner just before that corner where SF Racing just span. It looks like he's got on the grass on the outside and it's spun the car round. That's an easy mistake to make as well round there. It's a difficult middle sector onto the last few corners. It's really tricky round here. It's easy to make mistakes in that middle sector. T Smith now leads by 2.8 seconds. Expecting to see Iggy come into the pits for what will be his second last stop, I'd imagine. So it looks like, from what I'm seeing at the moment, it looks like the popular strategy at the moment looks like a 4 stop, I'd say. So everyone's going to be doing a 4 stop. Near enough everyone. Yep, Iggy pops into the pits, Frome carries on in P2, and then we'll get Lee Cole doing a great job in that Nissan. He's enjoying being back in that car after having the Lambo for a season, which I think he might have burned that Lambo after the end of last season. Did not enjoy it. K&K Dot, it's 1 second now the gap, so it's just went up ever so slightly, but he's keeping pace with the guys ahead on medium tyres, so he's doing a not too bad a job at all there, K&K Dot, on those mediums. Managing his pace, and he's trying to get, the thing is, he's probably trying to get on the same strategy kind of T Smith is doing, so Willie going to maybe pit round about the same time he is, and then it's probably going to be a stop or two to the end, so they'll be on similar tyres towards the end of the race. And obviously, as we've seen, KK Dot has more fuel at the moment, so we'll see how it pans out towards the end. Mike's just joined, welcome. What have you missed? Quite a lot. So winner of the first race was Tom, quite comfortably, and it was Frome and was it Pagani P2 and Frome P3 was the top 3. So T Smith leads from 5 seconds to Flying Frome, and then it's further 2 seconds back to Lee Cole. K&K Dot still hovering around the same pace behind Lee Cole. Blue flag MP5, he's in a good position as well, and then we've got Rom in P6, and there's a bit of a gap back to Iggy in P7, so Iggy's just filling up enough for what he needs and then going for really short stints by the looks of it. He keeps doing that, so interesting strategy. I've just seen that, I think he's nearly 2 tenths up on the best lap. So it looks like Iggy's on a bit of a flyer at the moment in that car. Got good pace as City Porsche comes into the pits. T Smith extending that gap up to 5.7 seconds, and Flying Frome in second, who will be in not too long at all. Lee Cole still in P3, still holding off the challenge from K&K Dot, who's on the mediums. Blue flag and Rom doing a good job for Tom's team, so P1, P5 and P6 for them, going very nicely. K&K Dot's part of Pagani's team, who's joined with SF Racing. Frome and Lee are in the same team as well, so they're going well in P2 and P3, so Tom and Frome team going very well so far. Still 80 minutes to go, a lot can change, as we've seen what happened with K&K Dot and SF Racing. One tiny mistake can hinder you so much around here. It's Pagani and Artemis are having a battle for P9, P10. Artemis trying to get past Pagani by the looks of it. Artemis on fresh tyres, Pagani on what can only be described as absolutely shot super softs, as Artemis has a look down the inside at the hairpin. Pagani drops behind into P10. I've got SF Racing His teammate just behind in P11. Slightly better tyres than Pagani, still don't look very healthy at all. That gap's still increasing up front now to 6.7. He's getting away and he's making time, he's gaining time on the cars behind. Lee Cole is dropping back from the leader, and so is K&K Dot. Rom seems to have got past. Blue Flag seems to have made a mistake. Blue Flag was in P5. It seems like he's had a dodgy lap. It seems like he's made a mistake somewhere in the middle sector by the looks of it. Looks like he's lost at least 5-6 seconds, so Blue Flag seems to have made a mistake somewhere. Come on to the next lap. Frome is going for another lap, so is T-Smith. We'll see where they come out at the end of the next lap. Who's that? Is it Dark? That is Dark Bolt parked on the inside. There, getting out of the way of everyone else. Pagani peels off into the pits. Artemis gets up into P9 then. After that overtake he made on Pagani, and he's now got clean air in front of him to chase after the Mazda of Aaron. He's had quite a quiet race so far. I've not seen many movements from him since the start. He's got bad tyre wear now though, so he'll need to come in for our stop. Blue Flag, after whatever mistake he made, is in P7, Eggy in P6, his teammate Rom in P5, and then K&K Dot's in P4. We've got on the grass slightly there, but just about managed to keep it on the road. Is that another yellow flag? That was for Volks Megatron. It's T-Smith. Leads now 7.7 seconds, so it's still increasing. Flying Frome into the pits just in time, no fuel left. Blue Flag also peels off into the pits. Tom is just about able to go another lap on those tyres and on his fuel. So we'll start to see in the last 8-9 minutes probably where everyone stacks up and what the pecking order really is. It's difficult to know what all the different strategies, tyre strategies, fuel strategies going on, where everyone actually is in the grid. K&K Dot is still the same, roughly the same behind Lee Cole than it's been all through this stint. So he's not really gaining, he's not losing any time, so he's just quite happy just sitting behind Lee Cole at the moment. Could see a lot of these guys come into the pits here. Tom will 100% be in the pits this lap. Peels off into the pits as you've seen there. Lee Cole will also follow him in. Now, will K Dot come into the pits or not? That's the question. He doesn't, he carries on for another lap. So K Dot leads now. Back up into the race lead. How long will he be able to stay there for is the question. Bit of a lag bit there. Rom is behind him in P2 on the soft tyres. T-Smith has popped out in P3. Frome has P4. Oh no, sorry, Iggy's actually jumped him and went up into P4 again, which has come out just beside Lee Cole and Frome. So Lee Cole and Frome, who are teammates, are battling it out for P5 and P6. We've got Iggy just ahead of him in P4, and they've got K&K Dot as well on one tyres ahead of them. K&K Dot appears to have made a mistake because he was in the lead. K&K Dot has had another off somewhere. Looks like that was just after the long kind of long left-hander, possibly an incident round there, so he's had another off, which is a shame for him. So K&K Dot's followed down the order, so that's ruined his chances of a victory, sadly for him. So he had a great start to the race, but since then it's a little bit downhill, but at least it's shown he has got the pace to be right at the very, very front. of GT1. So as much as he's probably be gutted about his pace, at least it shows he's able to fight. So he comes into the pits, Rome comes into the pits as well, so T Smith takes the race lead again on those super soft tyres. Now the question is, will he go to the end? I'd imagine so. They should be able to get to the end, should be able to do 8 or so laps, so should get to the end. Looks like Iggy's going to try and go for another lap, possibly another stint, sorry, after this, with his fuel load. Leco looks like he's going to the end. He's in P3 with his teammate just behind in P4. Rom's out in P5 with blue flag just behind. So far it's a good race for Tom's team and an excellent race as well for Lee's team, not Lee's team, Frome's team, the orange team. So the orange and white cars going very well so far. There's a battle though going on for P6 and P7 though, between Blue Flag and Artemis at the moment as they come round. Fast left-hander at the top of the hill. So tricky these corners, especially when you're following a car so closely. Trying to make sure you got all your braking points right without pulling into the car in front of you round here. KMK Dot has a bit of a wiggle there, he's come out in P8 after his stop. Artemis trying to get a good ace, possibly make a move against Blue Flag, but it doesn't look like he's going to be gaining enough time there. As he comes into turn 1, just not able to find a move yet. Both cars fairly decent in a straight line. Blue Flag in that Merc, which is very good in a straight line. He's just able to keep him ahead as Dartbolt goes off again. He's sliding everywhere here. Now he's going to have to get out of the way of some of the cars ahead. Cars behind, sorry. Putting him on track. So T Smith, 10.5 seconds now to Iggy. And Iggy has a different fuel strategy as well. T Smith looks like he's going to the end. So T Smith at the end of all this come out with a 10.3 second lead. So once again, and he's just set a 22.2. So he's just beaten the previous last lap by around 4 tenths. So T Smith unleashing the pace his car has got into the low 22s with his laps. Went from last on the grid and looks in a commanding position here. He doesn't make any mistakes. Reggie's still in P2, and then we've got this P3 and P4 of Lee Colin Frome, which are net P2 because Iggy's going to have to pit again because he's going to have to fuel up. Iggy will probably come out maybe round about where Rome is, I'm thinking, roundabout. Blue Flag's still got a McLaren 650S right up his rear, but he's managing to hold him off. Yeah, just seen Zom swing here. If anyone doesn't know, T Smith has went from a pad to a wheel. He was a little bit off what he was doing at the start, but as you can see, certainly not anymore. He's at his same pace, if not probably a bit faster, to be perfectly honest. I've changed the wheels well this season. I've not noticed a massive amount of difference in my pace, to be perfectly honest. So I found it fairly straightforward, and once Tom got to grips with it, I think he's found it not quite easy as well once he's got it all done. Iggy comes in for his final pit stop, put on the super softs. Will he come out beside Rome? Maybe it's a bit behind actually. It looks like he's come out just behind, just ahead of Blue Flag. So he has come out, he's actually come out behind Rom, so he's going to have a bit of a mountain to climb to try and catch back up to Rom before the end of the race, who's on soft tyres. Leco doing very well in P2, big difference in Lee Cole's pace from when he was in that Lamborghini last season. He's really enjoying this, I think, and he had a difficult season last season in that car, and he's got foam right over his rear at the moment. He will be thrilled with his pace so far this race. T Smith 14.3 seconds. His pace is absolutely ridiculous at the moment. He's just making this look. He makes it look easy. I know it's not, but he just does. The way he drives, it's just effortless. Froome still just behind. We've got Rom 2.3 seconds behind, and his tyres are slightly better shape. Fuel situation, everyone's slightly the same on fuel. Iggy's got less fuel than everyone else. We'll keep an eye on that. We've got blue flag just ahead of K&K Dot. Aaron closely follows him, and it's SF racing after his spin. Pagani down in P10. Strange to see Pagani so far down. I don't think he's had a very comfortable ride in that Corvette around here. I don't think he's very happy. That car. City Porsche Blue is 13th zone. He stopped spinning now, which is a good sign. Megatron Dartbolt, on the other hand, don't seem to be getting on very well with the Mazda, and the Dartbolt is off again. Dartbolt's in the Toyota. Struggling with those cars. Bad lag there from Lennon's car. So Artemis is behind Pagani, and he's on much fresher tyres. Will Pagani try and get to the end on those softs? I'm not sure. I don't know if it's possible, to be fair. Artemis is having a look. Not really overtaking place. I mean, it can be, as you've seen. Iggy made a move around there. So Sai, I think, made a move around there. So a couple of people have, but it's not the optimal place to overtake. I mean, there's significantly easier places, but it's at the end of a straight, so it's one of those places where you can overtake, but you just need to be a bit ballsy. And clearly, a few of the drivers are very capable of making ballsy overtakes. Pace and skill level of some of these guys is quite remarkable. Everything's starting to separate out slightly. Rom is closing quickly onto the back of this battle. Froome has managed to dispossess his teammate of P2. So Lee Cole's dropped down to P3, and Rom is right on the tail now on P4. So he's literally gained 1.5 seconds over the last lap. So it's just about a second now, or just under. Lee Cole does have a penalty as well, though, to get rid of. Just something to bear in mind. He's got to get rid of that, or it'll add a second onto his race time at the end. T Smith is now leading by an incredible 16 seconds. So Rom closing still, so it's now under a second. I think Michael C is trying to give Lee his kind of jinx here, but it's not working at the moment. Flying Froome now beginning to get away. Iggy's beginning to close. It's down to 2.4. So it looks like he's going to get there by the end, so we could have a 3-car battle for the last podium position. So can Lee hold him off? Blue flag seems to be quite comfortably in P6 now. K&K Dot is on the mediums in P7. Still just trying to get back on his pace he was on beforehand. Aaron in P8, SF Racing in P9. Artemis has dispossessed Pagani, who's in P11. Pagani's tyres are absolutely short. Artemis has went off at that left-hander. That's an interesting place to go off. Has he missed the... Has he just forgot to turn? Has he not broke? Or has he forgot what track he's on? Because that's the bit where it separates to Indy. Interesting place to go off. But as we go back to battle for P3, Iggy's beginning to close quite quickly now. It's down to 1.7, but we've got Rom who's right on the back. The two GTRs go side by side on the start-finish straight. Lee's defending the inside line. Rom's going to try the switch back. It can work. He's there. Lee aggressively tries to defend the inside line, and he gets that defensive move done. Lee's got rid of his penalty in that as well. This is all only helping Iggy, who's now closing off 5.10, so now down to 1.2. They've got at least another lap to go, maybe 2 to go after this one. It's under a second now to Iggy, so Iggy's in the fight for P3. So who's going to get it, Lee, Rom or Iggy? Blue flag comfortably in P6. I'm just looking at Iggy's fuel, and as much as he's catching them, that's going to be, I mean, look, it's going to be one lap, another lap by the looks of it. We're not going to get any more than one more lap in these guys. So Iggy's, I mean, it's not going to be easy for Iggy on fuel, it must be said. He gets a bit ragged there on the outside on that curb. Lee's holding them just in front at the moment of Rom. Rom, once again, he's going to start closing with that slipstream, but it's not a long straight, so although he's going to close, it's not going to be enough. Will he do a brave dive? Thinks better of it. Onto the last lap for these guys. T Smith may have a lap to his own again, by the looks of it. As Lee defends P3 at the moment, doing a good job as they come in. Next corner, keep an eye on Iggy's fuel. He's not got much left. Frome's away out, 3 seconds ahead of these guys, so he's away and gone. As they come into the long left-hander with the late apex. Down the straight, this is an overtaking opportunity, but it will be a brave overtake for a podium if Rom was to go for it. I think he's going to think better of it. I don't think he's going to go for it. To come round, Iggy's critical on fuel now as they come round the next few corners. I think he had a look at Lee call there, so they've lost time. It's now 9 to the Lee call. He's doing enough at the moment, Lee call, to just stay ahead as Iggy goes to the outside for the final corner to get past. He's really critical on fuel though. Will he have enough? Will he run out? He gets a good exit. It's going to be a drag race to the finish, but he's going to hold it off. So Frome takes P2, Lee Cole takes P3, manages to hold off. Great result for him. Rom manages to get to the end with fuel, so congratulations to Rom, and he manages to hold off Iggy, who's, I think, just about ran out on the line. Blue flag is coming round, and he took P6. K&K Dot took P7. He had great pace, and Aaron takes P8. SF Racing take P9. Artemis and Pagani going at it towards the finish. Pagani takes P10 with absolutely horrendous looking tyres at the end, so credit to him to get to the end. City Posh looks like he's going to come across the line to take a point. So City Posh will just about take the final point of the race, but T Smith is on his final lap of the race. He's had 2 victory laps on his own for both races, and he's coming round for what is yet another victory, a double victory. P1, P1, and the opening 2 races of the season. Big result for the Tom's team and the white team, P1, P4 and P6, and also Frome's team with a double podium in P2 and P3. So excellent job by both of those teams. They've managed a very good result for them. Okay, so let's have a little look and I'll tell you what we have next week for the calendar. Okay, so for GT1 next Friday we are at, for Group 4 we have the Brazilian circuit of Interlagos, and then for Group 4 I'm so used to saying Group 4. We don't have Group 4 anymore. The sprint race is at Interlagos, and the 50-minute endurance race is at Fuji. So we've got Interlagos and Fuji for GT1 next Friday, and for GT2 we have forgot there for a second. I need to look at it, but I forgot what it is. Goodwood and Monza. So Goodwood for the sprint and Monza for the endurance race. That'll be a long 50 minutes round Monza, must be said. It's not the most exciting track in the world, must be said. So that's going to be a bit of a boring 50 minutes, I must say, for me. Quite a few people I think will be the same. But that concludes our action for this evening. So T Smith with a double win, and Froome and Lee Cole rounding out the podium for the second race, with Pagani taking a P2 in the first race with Froome in P3. So T Smith taking a double win and Froome taking a double podium. So very well done to them, and thank you everyone for watching. I had a lot of you watching throughout, so thank you very much for that, and have a good night, and hopefully I'll see you all next week.